Day 11 of my 100 days of making comics. So today, in light of all my frustrations with the website, I decided to start creating a freaking comic. So I have this idea for the opening page to be kind of like the opening of the 2001 Space Odyssey scene where the moon is in the forefront, if I remember correctly. Then we have the Earth and the Sun. Kind of take that scene where it's kind of like three circles moving into the scene where the Sun being the last one. But I would like use the bottom of kind of a bottom of a beer mug, and it's just like lowering the mug in a way and revealing the face of the KUBRONAUT in a very dramatic perspective and distorted in a way. Basically, he listens to the TV in a bar, not his bar, because he doesn't have one on Earth, drinking at the bar, and he listens to the announcement that they are opening the International Space Station for corporations or businesses, and he concludes, "Destiny calls." I decided to try to draw it in Illustrator directly, see how that would work. The screen captures of these scenes to kind of develop the sequence and the perspective based on the size of those circles. But I wasn't too happy about it, so I was thinking, what should I do? And that's, spoiler alert, for day 11. No, this is day 11. Day 12 of my 100 days of making comics. Decided to do it on a page the traditional way, based on in a way I kind of used the computer as a sketch this time, and I decided to redraw it by hand, inspired by it. I used the computer first time because I also wanted to kind of control the image, so just with layers or something in After Effects I could make a quick animation with it, but I wasn't happy with the drawing at all, so I decided to scrap that. Yeah, just draw it the traditional way and figure it out when I trace it later on, if I'm even going to make an animation anyway. So I like the hand drawing a lot more. I'm kind of happy with it, and I still have to ink it, but I'm not sure. Well, again, retrospectively, I know I don't have time the next day, but I'm gonna get to it. Day 13 of my 100 days of making comics. Today it was a bit more chillax. All I did was kind of some research and a little bit of perspective drawing on one sketch, which was probably not that necessary. And then, some simple perspective drawing of the washroom scenes, a reference to the Shining movie. There's a scene in the bathroom, so I'm kind of calling back this thing. There's about maybe, I don't know how, actually I've been scripting a lot today too, and I've realized that even some of the thumbnails that I've drawn turn out to multiply or divide better with punchlines and stuff so some of the thumbnails that I did, which were just one page initially, are turning to 2 pages, so I'm already getting more pages out of my thumbnails than I thought. And I also have this schedule, which should be on the screen now, kind of following my progress to let me know how it's going. This schedule is based on about, I think, the middle of February. It's a good line for me which will be after my holidays, and make sure I'm on point. But basically, I should finish all my comics that I want to do before the official launch, the story before the official launch. That should be in April. Maybe go back to the first video if you can't follow, but basically I'm doing soft launch in January, and then the real actual launch, which will coincide with actually sending my characters to the space station at that point in April, at the same time as the Kubrick 2001 Space Odyssey premiere anniversary in April of 1968, so 50 years exactly. well, I guess you don't need to go back to the video. I'm gonna put it in the YouTube notes where I took this kind of schedule from. I edited a little bit, but it's a nice way of like anticipating what you need to do every day and all that stuff. So again, now it's going okay. I did a lot of scripting also today. Yeah, I already mentioned that. So day 14 of my 100 days of making comics. Well, today was Christmas, so Merry Christmas everybody. Of course I was quite busy. Actually, I didn't even need to work here in China on Christmas Day, and it's like the last day of the semester for my first year students, so they're kind of in panic mode to finish their assignments and all that stuff. So mostly I did some script writing when I had a little bit of chance, and I also did a little bit of drawing in transit, mostly centered around my second kind of major character, which I will introduce tomorrow. The other character that makes it a little bit of a buddy comedy, I guess. One of the main guys who will be at the bar all the time in space. Tomorrow I will try to work out the animation for him, so I can have a little animation, kind of like what I did with my main character last time. So day 15, which I'm still backtracking, this would have been the 26th of December, so Boxing Day. What I did was continue with my second character to develop a little bit his outline, his silhouettes, based on the faces that I'd drawn the day before. Then I did a little bit more final sketch, and I'm kind of ready to bring him into Illustrator to maybe follow up a bit more on the style of the KUBRONAUT has so far. Day 16 of my 100 days of making comics. Again, as I said yesterday, I had drawn a lot of silhouette, a little bit of faces the day before, trying to develop the concept a bit more. So I kind of selected one face, more or less, and some kind of body built. This character, although he is kind of a scientist, overall he's a bit more of a blue collar, stocky kind of guy. I'm going to introduce him a little bit more once I get to the animation video that I want to do in the next few days. Day 17 of my 100 days of making comics. Today I decided, I was trying to write the kind of introduction acting I'm supposed to do for the secondary character that I kind of promised. But I don't know, it's not coming through right now. So instead of this, I decided to just go back to that washroom sketch, kind of convert it to Illustrator. But actually I did come up with a more of a mix and matching of the styles, because actually bathrooms or washrooms in general are kind of a trademark of Stanley Kubrick for a lot of his movies. So that's kind of, at first I wanted to do just The Shining, but then I realized maybe I can, I made a sketch which also combines like the tiling from the end of 2001 Space Odyssey together with the very iconic Shining bathroom, but modernizing a little bit, so it's not exactly the same, but the setup is like perfect for some of the scenes of the comic book. So I kind of decided to trace it in Illustrator, see what it looks like, and I haven't quite finished. There's still the right part of the image to do, but I like the way it looks so far. That's kind of cool. Happy with it. And I'm still continuing trying to polish this introduction text that I'm not too happy with. So this is day 18 of my 100 days of making comics. So today I mainly did some editing of, I'll call it final for the time being, a version of my secondary character who I am looking to animate. So I set up the whole kind of a puppet style AI file. So not necessarily very interesting things to see, just ordering the layers and naming them properly to get ready to go into Adobe Characters and record my little bit about the character introducing himself, which I am not sure when I'll actually get it together to act as that character actually. So I'll post it at some point. Day 19 of my 100 days of making comics. I've already taken care of my half an hour of making comics because I recorded the inking of my page I did earlier, so that's already covered. Maybe tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, because it gets into the New Year Eve area, so it's a little bit of a gray area when and where I'll be to record voice, but maybe I can do it today and post it on another day, most likely. But at least I'm all caught up. That's really why I'm doing this now, that I know I've accomplished my goal even today, even if I do additional work, just to get the video out and everything caught up. And tomorrow also is New Year's Eve. I'm planning to be probably going snowboarding or something for the day, I don't know, in the evening, so I probably end up sketching on my way there or something. I just want to get the video out so I don't have to do too much catching up next time. So that's it, still going strong, 19 days and counting. Happy New Year to everybody.